Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone from all over the world, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Blessing Adekule, and I am excited to be hosting this powerful webinar section by Crystal Hill Software Group, also known as CHSG. And today, our theme for the webinar is From Error to Empathy, using AI to humanize disputes in Africa Fintech. And our guest speaker for today is Mr. Austin Chuks E. And very shortly, he will be joining us to speak on this very important topic today. Shortly, I will be sharing my first slide, which is an introduction. So this is a very brief introduction about me. My name is Blessing Adekule, like I said, and I am a tech-savvy project manager and brand strategist with experience working across fintech, marketing, and digital community. I have led content and communications initiative for organizations like Zenny Bank, Special Node, and Tech Expo Africa, with a strong background in project execution, brand growth, and AI-powered tools. I bring structure, insight, and energy to every session that I host. Thank you very much for having me today. Mr. Austin, I'll be introducing Mr. Austin shortly, and I'll be sharing a slide. Mr. Austin Chuks is a multifaceted communication and marketing specialist with a robust background in product design and secondary school students who won the National Robotic Olympiad in Nigeria and represented Nigeria in Russia for the World Robotics Olympiad in 2014. He has also worked with entrepreneurs in Nigeria who won the Best 6 Business competition in 2016. Another entrepreneur won the Mind to Mind initiative in 2018, while Austin and his team won the Unilag Incubator Training Program 2024 with $1,000 grant money. With a BSc in Systems Engineering and an MBA with a specialization in management, Austin combines technical proficiency with strategic business acumen. His academic foundation underpins his innovative approach to product development and marketing. Austin is renowned for developing transformative business model frameworks, notably the Pyramid Growth Framework, which offers structured approaches to wealth creation and business scalability. His thought leadership extends to public speaking engagements, including a keynote address for the Society of Women in Taxation, Lagos chapter, where he discussed leveraging AI for business growth. And we are glad to be having Mr. Austin with us today. Mr. Austin Chuks is with us today and will be sharing with us very insightful words about AI and our topic today, from error to empathy. But before we bring up Mr. Austin, we would like to share a video for you to see. Please hold on. And we'd also like to thank Crystal Hill Software Group for hosting this amazing webinar today.
In a world driven by technology, one decision can define your future. CHSG Academy Cohort 3 is here. A 12-week hands-on journey designed to shape the next generation of tech leaders starting June 1st. Master the tools, own the craft. You'll gain knowledge in areas including front-end engineering, build seamless, captivating user interfaces. Back-end engineering, power the systems behind the scenes. Product design, turn ideas into beautiful, user-first experiences. Product management, drive innovation with clarity and vision. Data science, extract meaning, predict the future. Cybersecurity, defend the digital frontier. DevOps, brings speed, precision, and reliability to development. This is more than training. It's a launchpad into the future. Limited slots, unlimited potential. Enroll now at csgtech.com/academy, as your tech journey starts here.
Okay, Mr. Austin, it's so nice to have you here this afternoon, and we cannot wait to, hear from you. We cannot wait to delve deep into what you have for us. I cannot wait, and we're inviting everyone here to relax and be part of this evolving conversation. It is now time to hear from our speaker, Mr. Austin.
Good afternoon, Good morning, good evening, regardless of where you are checking from. My name is Austin Osinaya. I'm going to be talking about from error to empathy, using AI to humanize disputes in African fintech. So let's go right in. So if we check what is artificial intelligence, I will just put it in simple, plain English. So a lot of people feel like artificial intelligence is a software or is an intelligent being or an intelligent application that allows you to do stuff. But in simple terms, artificial intelligence is like an automated system that does things for you as like the way a human being would do it. So that's simply what artificial intelligence is in simple, plain layman language. So now what is human disputes? Now human dispute is, I'll give a hypothetical example. I send 20, let's say I send $10 to you to maybe buy a software for me. Now, when I sent the money to you, you claim you did not see the money, but I am saying the money has left my account and is in your account. You are saying you've not received that money. So there is going to be a conflict in between because I am coming from the perspective of I have sent the money, you should have seen the money and you should do what I sent you. The basis of why I sent you the money, you should start. Then you on the other end is saying, hey, I've not seen this money. I can't do anything until I get the money. And then we start having issues. Then the first thing that comes to my mind is this guy trying to play me or is he trying to scam me? So that is where dispute comes in. So in simple terms, dispute is simply misunderstanding between two people who are involved in a transaction, regardless of whether it's a trade transaction, a remote transaction, export, import transaction, whatever the kind of or nature of the transaction is. But it just simply explains that we have some form of misunderstanding or miscommunication with regards to what is expected versus what has been delivered. So now, what is African fintech? So African fintech is the ability for you to do business with another African person that is based either within a country or within the African continent. So technically, it is now what differentiates an African fintech from a European fintech is just the currency, the ability to be able to do financial transaction with a particular currency easily and integrates into the local content for that particular location. That is what makes one solution an African fintech over the rest. So let's move on. So now, looking at the next challenge, or looking at the problem. So what is the whole idea behind a dispute? And how does that relate to African fintech? So if you look in this recent era, in these recent times, we are in the era where we call the fintech boom, where we're having high fintech usage, high adoption for financial transaction, where a person can send money to somebody in a rural community easily. For example, you have the big players in the fintech ecosystem. I'm sure most of us are using such fintech applications on your app, on your phones, especially the ones when you want to buy something from Malam, or you want to buy something from a seller in the market, and you ask them, can I do transfer? They say yes. And you say which one? They give you one of these fintech applications that you can transfer money to. So that is one of the reasons that are giving rise to the need for funds. So now coming down to the next question. So when you send money to someone, which is still talking about the issues with fintech, you send money to someone, how do you testify or how do you attestate that the money has been delivered to the other party? Now that's where the dispute issues arise or stem from. Now, if you look at some of the fintech platforms that are being used in the Western world, you would see that there is some fintech applications, when they want to resolve disputes, take between 14 to 30 days to resolve disputes. So say, for example, you have an issue, I'm talking about traditional fintech applications, I don't want to mention names. You have an issue with another person with regards to your funds, and you are inviting the admin to step into the matter to resolve the issue between you and that person. Now, the admin or whoever, the moderator or whoever it is that is coming to resolve the issue between you, which is the buyer, and the seller, can take between 14 to 30 days. So in that time space, everything will have to be on stall. Your business, whatever it is you need the money for, everything will be on hold until the whole issue has been resolved. This is where the issue is as it pertains to fintech. Now, if you look at this picture here, I am kind of representing the idea of a dispute. So disputes could take different shape and sizes. It could take a mild dispute. Mild dispute could be that you are still talking nice, you are still keeping your cool, you're still keeping your steez, you've not lost it yet, everything is still fine. That's where you are still trying to reason with the other party. Now, the stage 2 is where you are now becoming tensed, you are getting angry, you are losing your temper, you are screaming at the top of your voice, and you're trying to get the other party to do what they are supposed to do the needful, and they are kind of behaving very saucy. Then stage 3 is when you enter the begging mode. Now, the begging mode is when the person is refusing to budge, and you are realizing that if you continue with the way you are going, you are bound to lose out on all sides. So you now enter the begging stage where you're not trying to plead with the person's conscience to, send you back your money or do what you're supposed to do with regards to the funds. Now that's where this attack and defense happens. So in the attack, at the beginning, you are the one attacking because you are technically seeing yourself as the victim. Then when the table changes turns and the person who is defending you, you start, trying to plead and reason with the person and say, we are brothers, try and understand. This thing is not this bad, just try and not be difficult. And the person will be like, my friend, I have told you and I'm not fast. And the next thing, the person blocks your number. So that's where this whole issues comes in regards to the dispute. So I think I've trashed that. So now why do we need an AI? So AI is just for speed, accuracy, efficiency, and to eliminate the issue of biases. So biases in the sense that as a human being, you are prone to, be biased to another person, especially when you feel that this person might be right and this other person might be wrong when you are looking at the issue from the surface level. But the idea of the AI is to eliminate all of these issues. So now, moving now to the next question. How does this AI empathy engine, how does it work? Now, how does the AI work? It works in this way. It uses a predictive dispute detection system. So now we're still talking about why do you, like the issue as it pertains to dispute and why there's a need for empathy or like an AI system. So the first thing is if you're using a predictive dispute detection system, which means that when two people are having issues, they bring in an AI into the middle of both parties. The AI will come and first of all try to understand the issue that is between both parties. And it will do that using something that is called natural language processing. And what that does is to understand the tone, the context, and the urgency in the messages between the buyer and the seller and the two parties that are involved in confrontational issues. And then what does it do? It gives an automated resolution based on what the buyer has presented and what the seller is claiming to be his problem. Then everybody will just put the issue, the AI will come look at both parties and come up with a unbiased, accurate resolution that solves the problem between the buyer and the seller at both ends. So that is it about that. So now moving down to the next part. So how do you now narrow this down to fintech applications? Now, if you look at the African dispute system, let me give you a typical example. You enter a bus and you lose your phone. Now, technically, the first thing that happens to you is you enter panic mode. Now, what do? You try to look for a friend's phone to call customer service so that they can quickly block your line. Why are you blocking your line? Because you don't want them to move your money. Now, in the time of trying to reach that particular person, or reach the particular customer service, there's always this, they'll put you on voice waiting time. So you are there waiting for the stuff to pull through. And then you are in the time of you are using to wait, and it depends on when this issue is happening to you and how fast you're able to get access to a line or a phone that you can use to call. Before you're eventually able to get through the customer care, explain your ordeal to them, and then before they were able to resolve your issue, and then before they fix all that, matter, your money is gone. The next thing you see debit alert, bang, 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 and 200,000 has left your account. You enter frenzy mood, bang, bang, 500,000 has left your account. So all of those issues are things that happens in the current traditional fintech usage, which means that when you lose your phone or somebody hacks into your account, you are literally screwed. And if you decide to go to police, Oyo is your name. So, but these are just the things that happens as it pertains to the traditional way of, addressing disputes. And a whole lot chunk of time, by the time you're able to get through the customer service, they tell you, okay, so your money was moved in X amount of time. This is what happened. So they just give you update reports on what has happened and the losses you've incurred. So all you can just do is cry about your losses and seek for ways to manage your losses. So this is the old ways of doing it. But the way we are seeking to do it now is a new way of using AI system, which means that you don't have to wait and sit down for customer service to attend to you before you are able to take quick action. As somebody is hacking into your system, all you just need to do is find a way to get across to get another access to your account. And then, or let's even assume that the person managed to access your account. You don't even need to get scared. All you have to do is find a way to regain access. Once you regain access, just trigger the fraud system on the PaliPay structure, and immediately that person's account will be frozen. And all the money that he has taken will automatically, it will trigger the AI fund recovery agent. And in no time, you will have your money sitting back in your bank account like as if it never left. So these are the things that makes that makes the AI dispute resolution sweet, because it makes it easier. It gives you less anxiety and high BP as it pertains to the traditional way people do business. So now that's where the from error to empathy comes in, which means that if there's an error where somebody is able to access your funds, you are at least guaranteed that, or at least maybe not guaranteed, but at least your likelihood of fund recovery is 100 times higher than if you were using the traditional fintech applications. So now coming down to the next one. So why does empathy matter? So let's put it, let's face it. Money is life. You work hard for your money. You go out to ensure that you have the funds that you need to go buy. Now, losing that money to a scammer or to a fraudster is not something that anybody prays for. Like, you understand? Because you don't want sorry party people say, hey, yeah, sorry, hey, yeah. So that's not the kind of empathy we're talking about. We're talking about a system that resonates with you, that understands your pain points, and that is able to find a way to help you resolve your issues. So that is where the empathy comes in. And so that's where the AI system comes in. So how does this work? It uses sentiment intent analysis to pretty much understand your situation and kind of see how it can help you figure out or resolve the issues or the problems you are going through. So that is it about that. Now, I'm moving down to the next part, which is artificial intelligence. On this talk, on this call, on this meeting, I know you did not just come here to listen to me tell you about how AI is, resolving financial disputes across borders. You pretty much came here because you want to learn a thing or two. So I'm pretty much going to explain some things to you that you won't just stumble on or maybe online and just learn. And what is that? When we talk about artificial intelligence, there are 3 things you need to know about AI. The first one is what they call AI workflow. And the second one we call the AI agent. And the third one we call autonomous AI agents. Now, everybody, you might be hearing artificial intelligence, or you can use artificial intelligence to do this, to do that. And a lot of times, a lot of us have been hearing agentic AI agents. If you are following the AI buzz or the AI trend, especially when you are hearing DeepSeek, the arrival of DeepSeek, the ChatGPT, the arrival of ChatGPT, the arrival of Manos, and all of these big AI platforms that are springing up every here and there. So now some of you might be very confused. You might think that AI is just your chatbot. You're being able to just send prompts and then you get response back from that prompt. Now that particular one that you're doing where you send the prompt and the AI responds with answers to your prompts, that is the user interface part of the AI system. You cannot be said to be adopting AI. You are just using it to carry out your day-to-day activities or tasks. However, what we are talking about is AI from a business perspective. And to implement AI on a business perspective, we look at the AI workflow. Now, in the AI workflow, what is an AI workflow? It is a structured sequence of tasks where an AI agent follows predefined rules or steps to complete a process. It operates within a controlled framework, often requiring human oversight or triggers. Now, this is where you will hear AI agent workflow. This is where you will hear the N8N, the Make platforms, and all of those other platforms you've been hearing about. This is where you will hear that AI agents, you can actually create an employee from an AI that will do the work of a human being. This is where you hear all of that, because all of that is predefined in the AI workflow. So you just create an AI workflow where the AI will do some manual and basic and repetitive tasks for you to ensure that you get the maximum result for whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Then the AI agent. So now, what is the difference between AI workflow, AI agent, and autonomous AI agents? I will get there. And I'm going to show you a practical example. I will explain it in such a way that you would pretty much understand it to the, like, it's going to be like ABC. Now, this AI agent, what is an AI agent? An AI agent is a software entity that perceives its environment, processes data, and takes action to achieve goals. It can learn and adapt, but operates within predefined boundaries. Now, in this part, you can see that an AI agent is a bit more advanced than an AI agent workflow. Now, an AI workflow, you are telling the AI what to do, how to do it, what the party should follow to get the job done. So you are predefining the beginning and you are setting the end. So there is a beginning and an end process of that workflow. But the AI agent, on the other hand, works a bit different. Now, you are not only defining the tasks and you're not defining the parameters in which it is going to work in, the scope and every other thing, you are also giving you room to learn from what it is doing so that subsequently it can do things by itself without necessarily needing your intervention to get that done. That's where you hear what they call AI training, or that's when you are training the AI to understand or recognize events, to understand certain circumstantial situation as it happens in real time. Now, the next one is autonomous AI agent. So let's read what it is. An autonomous AI agent is an advanced AI agent that operates independently, sets its own goals, makes decisions without human intervention, and it leverages self-learning and real-time environment feedback. A practical example of an autonomous AI agent, some people might call it Serial. I don't know if you've heard of Serial, where you are having a conversation with it and it's responding back and booking on your calendar, doing every other thing, depending on which version you are using. But what I'm saying in essence is the AI agent is self-aware, it understands your needs, and it's tailored to meet your needs. A good practical example is you will hear that, okay, there was a news I heard about an AI agent that was designed to serve as a companion, like a girlfriend. So what people now do is that they have relationships with AI, like a companion. So they talk to the AI when they are bored, when they are sad, when they are hungry. The AI will try to calm them down, we say sweet words to them to make them feel good. And it's like almost like a girlfriend. I don't know how they do that, but it happens. So that is what autonomous is. It is independent. It just works by itself and it just knows what you want based on your predefined preferences and interests. So I'm going to now be showing the difference between, okay, so before I move to the next part, I'm going to now explain briefly how do the three of them work. So an AI workflow, there is a beginning to an end, which means there is a start and a finish. It is only when you need it that you make use of it. An AI agent, on the other hand, works like it's a circular system, which means it works continuously. Round the clock, it keeps working, keep getting the job done regardless, and you just go to sleep and do other things, and the AI agent just works for you by itself on its own. Whereas the AI workflow only works when you activate it. It is when you activate it that it works. So it's like a top-down, bottom approach, start, end approach, and that's it. AI agent, on the other hand, is circular. That's the difference. Autonomous AI agent, on the other hand, is what they call use on the, how do they call this thing? Use as you go model. So if you need it, it works. If you need it to be working autonomously, it works. If you want it to work top-down, it works. It's more of like the hybrid version of this AI workflow and the AI agent. So now let's now go a little bit deeper to see practical examples of how this is used. So now my first practical example is this. You might have heard no code tool. So AI is broken down into two. There's something they call conversational AI agents and automation AI agents. So conversational AI agent is the one you have with ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and every other thing. That's the one where you send the prompt, it gives you a response back. That is it. Automation AI agent is the one that does where you will give it a task and it will use that task to work automatically on your behalf to make sure that it gets the job done. You understand? So that is the difference between automation and conversational. So now, if you not say, let's not focus on automation. And on automation, there are two parts to automating an AI agent. There is the code base and there is the no code base. The code base is the one where you write the codes and you tell the AI to do custom-based, to carry a custom-based tasks or custom-based instructions on a specific environment to do specific things within a specific scope. You understand? That is just the code base. The no code base is like you are not writing codes, you are just doing a drag and drop, bringing scenarios, inputs, answers, tools, pulling them together to achieve a certain objective. So that is just the difference between the two of them. Now, if you go online, depending on what you are looking for, you will hear no-code AI workflows. You will hear that pretty much a lot. And there is the code-based AI workflow. So on this particular incident, we're going to be talking about no-code AI tools. Now, part of those no-code AI tools, we have what they call, there are two popular no-code AI tools that are like shaking the internet. And the first one is make.ai, Make AI agent workflow, AI platform, and N8N AI platform. So now I will explain in a bit the difference between the two of them, but just to pretty much make you understand it. If you want to make money, I'm sure you would have seen people talking about how they made $10,000, $1 million from AI, and you're thinking maybe it's ChatGPT they're referring to, or cloud or DeepSeek. No, they are referring to this thing you are looking at my screen here. This is what they did to pretty much make the $10,000, $100,000 you hear them talking about. So now, when you are looking at Make AI, first of all, on this angle, how it works is this. You have, how the general AI system works, it works with a framework called Tried Alphacas Make T. Tried Alphacas Make T. There is a particular, is a kind of is a slang framework that is used. So what does tried Alphacas Make T? What does it mean? Tried means tax. Sorry, I call Alphacas. Alphacas means answers. Make means models. And T means tools. So what it simply means is that you are putting tasks together. You are assigning tasks to the AI workflow or AI agent workflow or the AI agent, depending on whichever one you are doing. And you are giving a predefined answer based on what you want the AI agent to do. And then you are setting it based on models, predefined models that you want the AI to implement, such as LLM models like Cloud, DeepSeek APIs, Open API, that's ChatGPT API, or DeepSeek API, or all those sort of things. That's where the model comes in. And the tools is where you have maybe your Mailchimp, your Gmail, your Telegram, or whatever it is you are using. So just to pretty much explain this particular framework I've just explained, you can see that this is the beginning of the framework, which is the start. It shows you the different tools this is the beginning of the tool. So this is the trigger. So you are saying that once a trigger is implemented, so you set the parameters for this trigger. Now this trigger brings up this whole tool. So you're telling the AI workflow that once this trigger is done, it should activate all of these tools simultaneously about the same time, doing exactly what you predefined set in it that it should do. And once it is done doing it, it will move to the next stage here. And once it's done, it moves to the next stage, which is either it sends email or a response to a mail to the customer. And once that is done, it moves to the next stage and then moves to the next stage and then ends and terminates. So this is how Make AI agent works. It just pulls a series of tasks and models and tools together. Now, behind all of these things, when you click on it, it will open a properties dialog message box where it will ask you to fit in or fill in your parameters. Once you fill in your parameters, you are done. Once you fill the parameters, you will run the automation. It will automatically run the whole thing. If you've done it correctly, it will show green. If you've not done it correctly, it will show red. And if it shows red, it means you need some areas of modifications where you need to make adjustments. Then you make adjustments. So how does this now make you money? Once you define the your flow, once the trigger is activated based on what you set, it runs through this whole thing and then just does things automatically for you. So now let's go to the next one, which is N8N. So remember, we started talking about AI agents, and we're talking about how you can monetize it. Don't forget, let's not forget, and let's not deviate from the fact that we are still talking about human dispute system. Now, I'm still going to get to the autonomous, and I'm still going to explain to you how fintech is, like how autonomous AI can be integrated into fintech applications. But for now, I'm just giving you a guide so you understand, or like kind of demystify the whole concept of what the AI idea is, so that you don't get overwhelmed or get confused as to what it is. So we're still talking about automation, and we're talking about no-code tools. So in the no-code tool, the next popular no-code tool that you can see online is called the N8N AI agent workflow. Now, this is how it works. Now, the N8N works it's like a system. It's like you're building a process, like an operational process, where you predefine, okay, so you set a trigger, and then you say that, okay, receive Telegram message from a webhook, then process text messages, then collect message from DeepSeek. So the DeepSeek API will serve as the brain or the model of the workflow you are doing. And then this model will feed every other thing that exists on this place. So I don't want to start explaining it so it doesn't start getting complicated, but I'll just give you a pre-explanation to this whole thing so you pretty much understand it. All of these boxes you are seeing here are either tags, or they are either tags, or they are models, or they are tools. You understand? So that is how this box are. If you look at this here, this is the AI agent. Now, this AI agent is going to take message from these DeepSeek API calls. Now, if you notice, all of this is connected to this AI agent. The AI agent is the brain that feeds every other thing. Now, all the processes, the tasks, the answers, the tools will all be connected to this agent to ensure that whatever is being done will pass through this agent and give you the answer that you need, which is, say you want the AI agent to respond to customers on your Telegram channel, or you want it to respond to an issue or to your community that you're currently managing on Telegram. Not just Telegram, but kind of that kind of thing. So that is just it about that. Let me not explain so much about it. Now, this connector code, all this connector code, they're like how will I put it? They're like, just like you having how will I put it? You are creating, let's say you're doing electricity. You have one pole, you have another pole. The reason why you have light is because there is one cable connecting from somewhere that goes directly to your house. So that cable is what passes electricity from the transformer to your house. That is the same way this cable works. It works like an electricity carrier. It carries electricity from the source all the way to the end point. So yeah, so not necessarily electricity, I'm just using electricity as an example, but it carries the messages, it carries the processes, the tasks, what you want it to do, it carries it all through the way to the end. So that is just how it works. So that, and then I'm sure like you are beginning to get a snippet of how AI agent works and how it is being built. This is how they build it. Now, we now move to the next phase, which is autonomous AI agent. Now, autonomous AI agent, like as I said, uses a whole different kind of workflow. I need to mention to you guys that when you are building an AI agent, we have two kinds of AI agents with no-code tools. We have single AI agents and we have multi-AI agents. Now, single AI agents are AI agents where you have input-output flow. You put an input, which is tasks, instructions, and then the AI takes the tasks. Then when the AI receives the tasks, depending on what framework you are building on, we have different kinds of framework. There is the RAG framework. That is, there is the RAG framework, there is the role-based agent framework, there is the chaos framework, there is another one they call the create framework. There are different frameworks. There is seed, there is Boolean, there's retrieve. There's a whole lot of framework out there that works effortlessly. Now, depending on the use case you want to implement, we define which framework you are adopting. If you are adopting a single AI agent, then you don't need to be using complex framework to do it. You just use a simple AI workflow to just make it happen. But if you are doing a multiple AI agent, so let me explain how multiple AI agent works. So how it works is like, it works like the way you do like an employee-employer kind of relationship. Your employer comes to your line manager, gives your line manager a task, and tells the line manager he wants him to do something and get that thing done. Your line manager now in turn comes to you, which is the staff, and tells you, hey, James, I need you to get this thing done, blah, blah, blah. Do this. He gives you the task as to how he wants you to get the job done. Then you, the expert in that area, you work on that task. Then once you are done, you send it to your line manager for approval. The line manager looks at it, approves it, and says it's fine, and then takes it to the boss overall himself and delivers that work. The boss collects it and says, yes, I like what I see. If the boss doesn't like it, he sends it back to your line manager. Your line manager sends it back to you, and you rework it and send it back, and you keep going around the process until you've gotten to a finite understanding that he is satisfied with what has been done. Then the job is done. You know that you've completed that task. That is the same as the way I just described this is the same way the multi-AI agent works. So how it works is you are your boss. Now you, the boss, gives your AI agent, you call it the AI agent manager. You give the AI agent manager tasks, goals, and you set specific or predefined things that you want you to do. Then the AI manager agent will now go to the sub-agents. The sub-agents are now designed to be sub-specialists in their field. So say, for example, say you are trying to write a blog post, and you tell the AI agent, please design a blog post that is refined, that uses the EEAT framework, or uses the AI search engine framework. That's in terms of extracting information, in terms of relevancy, effectiveness, efficiency, how good it is, and a whole lot of other data and statistics that are used for that. So now, what now happens is you feed it with that information. Now, what that will do is the AI manager agent will take that information, take it to the different sub-specialist agents. Now, in that sub-specialist agent, you might have a researcher, you might have a reviewer, you might have a compiler, and you might have a reporter in all of that sub-agents. Then what that researcher will do is that he will go online, work on that information, get details, compile it, pass it to the reviewer. The reviewer will look at it as an expert in his field, confirm that he's satisfied with it. If he's not satisfied with it, he will send it back to the researcher. The researcher will go back and do more research. If it's done, he comes back, the reviewer will look at it. If he's satisfied, he moves it down to the next person. The next person packages it, moves it down to the reporter. The reporter packages it and moves it to you. No, sorry, he moves it to the AI agent manager. The AI agent manager receives it, now confirms that it is fine, and then pushes it back to you, which is the boss that gave it the information. Now, you being satisfied with what it has done, will now go and use it for the purpose in which you want to use it for. You understand? Depending on your use case. But if you want it, for example, say you are doing a multi-AI agent to probably post on your behalf, so you don't have to post or manually, you just set it and you just go to sleep and it does it for you automatically. All it now does is that the AI manager agent will now come back to you to let you know that the plugin information that you requested for has been done, completed, and has been published, that you should go and check to confirm that you are fine. And you will go to the original source where you've already predefined it. To go there, you go there and confirm that everything is going as planned. That is how AI agent really works. Now, for autonomous AI agents, on the other hand, it works pretty differently. What makes autonomous AI agents special than the other no-code AI agents I will explain. So look at it from this angle. Remember when WordPress came into being? I'm trying to use an example to give contextual understanding, so it doesn't look like all the big words and big vibes that are throwing. So when you look at when WordPress came into being, WordPress was called the no-code website builder that allows you to build websites without actually writing code. A lot of people jumped at it. Today, people still use WordPress or Wix or all those other WordPress builder to get the job done. So that is, those tools are website builders, but those page builders, you cannot build outside those page builders. Unlike if you are using coding. Code, for example, You can use React libraries. You can use JavaScript JavaScript libraries. You can use maybe blockchain libraries. You can use Jigga. There are different libraries you can use, and you can pull all of them simultaneously about the same time to make stunts that naturally will make WordPress blush. You understand? Because it's literally, there are limitations to what you can do with it. You understand? But you can still get the job done. The same way you have it in no code is the same way you have it. The way you have it in WordPress and code is the way you have it in no code and code. So now what's the difference? The difference is the environment. The environment in the sense that the no code tools, you cannot run automation outside the no code platforms. Whereas the code base, you can run outside the environment. You can place it in any environment you so desire. You can put it in any website, you can put it on any platform, you can, although there are tools and platforms that makes it a whole lot easier, that integrates no-code tools to integrate on other platforms. Yes, they have them, they have that infrastructure. But the issue there with those things is that you pay money, it's not free. And then those things can, escalate in terms of cost pretty fast. But if you are the kind of person that is like an Alara that does not want to, spend money, you can pretty much use that. So that's it about that. So these are with my explanation, you can pretty much get this idea. So now moving down, so that because of time, I'll just quickly rush. So we talk about how you resolve. So now this is where PaliPay AI agent works. So with my explanation, you can understand that we are using autonomous AI agent for PaliPay, not the other ones that you've pretty much seen. So now how that works is it takes information from the customers, try to understand it so that you can process and get satisfy the customer to the best of the to make sure it satisfies them, find out who the villain is, who the victim is, and help the victim recover their funds in a scenario where they've been cheated or they've been scammed or they've been ripped off of their funds. So yeah, so let me just so in conclusion, let me wrap up here. As a developer, you need to build an AI that listens and learns. Invest in localization, because like the saying goes, if you're going to build something that people want. And the only way you can build something that people want is to build it in the context in which you want people to use it. And I believe that if you're able to, apply this simple reality, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Thank you very much. If you can follow me on LinkedIn, this is my, you can search for me using my name on LinkedIn and connect with me. Let's have more conversation. Or you can also follow CHSG, the organizer of this webinar, and see the awesome and the other things they are doing to support young developers. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Austin. I was saying that I think I'm going to have a masterclass with you personally, because this session was very powerful. At some point I was like, are we in a webinar or we're actually having a masterclass? That was really, really insightful. Thank you very much. I know that we are going to have some questions. I know that I have questions for you, but before then, we'd just like to share a video for everyone to see, so that when we come back from the video, we'll go straight into our fireside chats. Thank you, Mr. Austin.
Thank you too for inviting me.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, so I'm sharing the upcoming webinar that we are having May 24th, that's next Saturday by 8 p.m. Our speaker is Miss Afyong Uno. She's a co-founder of TechPie.com. And I know that you don't want to miss it, because I'm not going to be missing this webinar. Where we are today, I don't know. I don't even know where to start unpacking or repacking everything I thought that I knew about AI. Mr. Austin just shattered it today, and it just made me understand that there is more to AI than what I thought AI was. And I think I have a greater or deeper interest in AI after each section. So please confirm that you are still with us. You can drop a chat, or you can drop your questions, you can drop reactions or anything, just to know that we are going together. Now we'll be going next to our fireside chat with Mr. Austin. And like I said, we'll be dropping a number for you to reach out to. You'll be able to join the CHSG community. You'll be able to register for the upcoming webinar. You can also register for the course that is coming up soon. Mr. Austin, back to you. Please, let's have a very interactive fireside chat with Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Thank you very much for that insightful section. So to begin with, can you just share with us what drew you personally to the PaliPay project? And in case you're just joining us, Mr. Austin is the CEO for PaliPay. I know that you would have been hearing him talking about empathy. Well, for me, I was wondering, what are we going to talk about today? AI as empathy, or what? But Mr. Austin has been able to unpack so many things for us. So, Mr. Austin, what drew you personally to this PaliPay project? Was there a moment or a plan or a pain point that really hit home for you?
Yes. So what drew me to PaliPay, the PaliPay project, was the issue of scam. Yes. If they don't scam you before, let me speak a little pidgin. If you've been scammed before, you will not understand what it means to lose funds. Yeah, somebody just makes away with your hard-earned money and then leaves you stranded. You get.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's really painful, and so what drew me was I got scammed. Like I was trying to do a business with a guy in the US. I sent some money to him to help me get something, and after sending the moment the guy received the cash, he started laughing. He
Wow.
first do all those emoji laughter, evil laughter, like
Wow.
finally they have released that money. Well, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that your money has entered what they call lagoon front.
Voice me.
It's not officially swimming. So say bye bye to your money. Bye. And that was it. There was nothing I could do. I started begging. At first, I was like, I would take this nonsense. This rubbish is not going to be fun. By the time I realized that, come, guy, you're about to lose your money, I calmed down. I said, bros, have fun. I calmed down. It's not like that. We're not going to that level. Let's negotiate. So yeah, so that's just the situation of things. So that was what drew me, right? So what reinforced my interest was when I went online to kind of like find solution to the issue. And then I was using a Mercury bank account. So if you are someone that likes to do international transaction like me, I like to do like cross-border transaction a lot. It's like cross-border transaction were like 5 and 6. And you realize that to send money to an American is mission impossible from Nigeria.
Wow.
Like it's literally, it's not as, in as much as you have fintech platform that says they offer that, in reality, they don't allow it. They may offer it, but you don't have access to it. There's only a one-way system where you can receive it from the other end. So, and then what now finally broke the camel's back was when Mercury Bank in the US banned all Nigerians from using their platform. And I was one of the affected individuals, you get, and we were asked to leave. You get, it was very painful, very, very painful. I just decided that, you know what? And when I went online, I discovered that I was not the only person, like there were thousands of people who were affected. That was what even abetted that interest and said, let me create something that can accommodate people who do international business transactions like myself. That was what led down the PaliPay's path.
Yes, and you're also using AI while at it. That's very, very smart. Though it's coming from your own personal pain point and many other people's personal pain point, but then it's going to bring solutions to many people. Well, up to the next question. You have supported global innovation challenges and created frameworks like the Pyramid Growth Framework. How has that experience influenced your approach to fintech storytelling, especially with PaliPay mission? I From this little chat I already have, I can see that you have a great story to tell about what you've been through and the kind of solution that you're trying to bring into Africa and into the world. So, what experience influenced your approach to this?
Okay, so I started working on business model in 2019. I have about 12 novel model frameworks that are credited to my name that I literally designed from scratch. If you type, one of the most how will I put it? One of the most dangerous, I call it dangerous framework is Wales acquisition strategy. If you type Wales acquisition strategy, you will see the framework was designed by me. It's a framework that, that suppresses competition. They say competition is for people who don't know how to play the competition game. So I designed a framework that, takes advantage of big play. Like you leverage your advantage against bigger opponents that naturally you would not have been able to fight on a good day. So to now come down to the storytelling, I developed another framework called the Rebel Marketing Strategy. So it's a communication strategy that I designed to, improve the villain boss kind of situation. So which means that you have the villain, which is the problem you are trying to solve, and you, the hero, that is trying to solve that problem. So you can just use what they call the hero journey, or you can use the ADA storytelling framework, or you can use the before and after storytelling framework. There are different multiple storytelling frameworks you can use. But all of those frameworks are used in addition with the Rebel Marketing Strategy to allow entrepreneurs sell the best part of their stories. So it was this knowledge that helped me to shape how I perceive and do approach entrepreneurship.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Austin. So let's talk a little bit about PaliPay.com. PaliPay is stepping into a complex fintech ecosystem. In your view, what makes its value proposition unique, especially when we are comparing it to existing currency conversion or virtual wallet platform in Africa?
Okay, so I've been saying, I used to tell people would say that the payment system or the payment platform is a saturated market. And I would tell them that the payment industry is saturated depending on which angle you are looking at it. And it is competitive depending on which niche you are playing in. You understand? So let me give you an example. So the value proposition we are adopting, we're not playing in the multi-currency sector. No, that's not where we are playing. And we are also not playing in the I send money to you, you receive money back kind of sector. No, that's not the sector we are playing. What we are playing is in the sector called the trade sector, where you can do business with somebody in another country and you have peace of mind that the person will not, like you have the platform that you are using to do business will protect you from fraudulent people. And even by some miracle, the person scam you, you know that the platform can help you with something they call fund recovery. You understand? This is something you don't see on traditional payment platforms. You understand? And above all, it gives you an ACH integration system or payout that allows you to pay out funds to people overseas, and you not feeling like you must have a US bank account to credit a merchant. You understand? So this is what really gives PaliPay the edge over the rest in the market.
Okay, thank you very much. It still boils down to, the question talks about maybe competing or maybe trying to compare yourself with other fintechs in the world. I always believe that there's nothing that is going to, how do I put it now? When you believe in something, for example, you believe that this is going to help somebody out there, don't be so sure that somebody else is already understands that person pain point. Now you understand people pain points because you went through it, so you'll be able to relate to it very well. Then from there you're able to like derive a solution and give people value for it in place. So on to my next questions. Many platforms struggle to communicate trust and reliability. How is PaliPay approaching brand communication differently to build user confidence?
Okay, so trust is a very significant barrier in fintech platforms in Africa. And a lot of times, scams and fraud has been the issue across payment infrastructures, especially when you lose your money to scammers. So now how we are doing that is we are using something they call user-centric branding. So we are giving users the power to be the admin of the platform. Other platforms, they want to maintain autonomy or control of how users should do business. But PaliPay is giving users the ability to decide who stays on the platform and who goes. So what we do is that we use something they call a strike system. So a strike system gives you confidence for you. So if somebody has played somebody wayo, like the more you look, the less you see. And maybe that other person has issued the other person a strike. You, the new person, can come and see the strike, and you know that this person you are dealing with is high risk. So you can decide how you want to play ball with that person. But one of the ways we are going to be installing confidence is through educational content. As you know, people a lot of times will try to understand what it is PaliPay does and how it does it. So those educational content is going to help them pretty much understand it and give that kind of confidence that they're in the right place. And more importantly, it is how will I put it? So say for example now, what we plan to do in the coming months is to have something they call regulatory integration. So if somebody tries to play you, the more you look, the less you see. Some people will say that the person can as well just leave your platform, create another account, and repeat the process. Well, that does not work like that with PaliPay, because why? You have what they call KYC. Yes, when you submit your you submit your KYC, and that KYC becomes the information that we use. Now, how that plays off is what will happen is the person will get a warning to refund the person that he scammed. And if he doesn't refund it, his details will be shipped, packaged, and sent off to criminal regulatory agencies to pick him up. So what the person will just see is that EFCC will just knock at their door the following day and pick them up.
Yes.
And believe me, nobody wants to be in that kind of situation. So PaliPay having that kind of functionality is going to install trust and confidence that come. If you do Eneanya, you see Eneanya. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin. If you continue to ask you all these questions and your answers are very, very educating, I think we are all going to sleep here today. So please, let's try to manage our time and try to answer the questions in time. Me personally, I am enjoying the answers to the question, but then we need to run fast because of time. Thank you once again. So my next question is, you have spoken about product market fit in your work. How did the team validate the need for PaliPay core features like multi-currency wallets and ACH integration?
So if you look at it, for example, ACH is not a Nigerian thing. It's an American thing. It's a European thing. So it allows you to do payments, to send payments to American merchants and European merchants. Like as I said, the multi-currency is just an add-on feature. It's not, how do I put it? It's not the core feature that you flaunt to say, oh, this is it. We allow you to do multi-currency, because multi-currency is everywhere. It's like, in fact, multi-currency is the basic feature of any fintech application. So pretty much how we are doing it is we are using, we are giving rooms for Nigerian freelancers, remote workers, people who engage in international transactions to kind of like send money to somebody in a foreign country. You get, but the sending of money to a foreign country is not what makes it sweet. What makes it sweet is the fact that you are, like as I said earlier, you are protected. If anything goes wrong, at least your likelihood of fund recovery is a lot higher than if you were going the traditional regular fintech application. But how we validate the need for the core features is we do what they call a user journey, a user journey gap, or a need gap analysis. Let's just put it like that. So a need gap analysis was carried out to find out, okay, what currently is missing in the marketplace, because whatever we are doing must reflect in the market. Then what do people need, and how can we bridge that gap between what is needed and what needs to come to reality? And that was how that was what defined the basis of the core features.
Okay, so let's talk about what is the next big step for PaliPay after MVP, and what growth strategies are top of mind for user acquisition, especially among Africa freelancers and SMEs. I know you have been mentioning Africa freelancers and SME since your discussion started, but what's the next big stage, or what's the next big step for PaliPay?
Okay, so the growth strategy is simple. PaliPay has designed a growth strategy to play on a global stage. Like I tell some of my friends, I said, PaliPay is not just another fintech application. It is an American Nigerian fintech application. So it is built for the diasporan communities. It is built to allow Nigerians do business with Europeans and Americans. So the growth trajectory is simple. Once we are able to solidify the core features, we move into the subscription and instrumental payments realm, where you can not only track your payments, you can pause your payments, you can cancel a payment, you can do business as a freelance, you can pay in part payments and choose in how many installments you want to make payments for. You can do a whole lot of things, but what even makes it sweeter is the fact that you have what they call a blockchain integration with the solution. So which means that you can actually use blockchain in your transaction with other people in other countries. And so nobody can come and forge transaction and say, oh, you have not sent money to me, and they show you a fake transaction receipt. That is not even realistic or possible anymore, because why? There's a blockchain solution that records the transaction that is being done, and then you cannot alter or change or fake what is already been recorded on the blockchain network. So going into the blockchain space is really going to scale the PaliPay infrastructure. Like as I said, PaliPay is not just a payment. Payment is just what you see, but the core behind it is the blockchain and banking infrastructure that allows businesses, e-commerce, and business owners to host their platforms on the PaliPay platform. So that's the
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Austin. So you are someone that is passionate about AI. It is impossible for us not to see that already. So where do you see AI playing a meaningful role in PaliPay evolution? Especially in this dispute resolution that we have been talking about since, and customer experience.
Okay, so AI is very key, because like a lot of times people will say that. So let me explain something. I designed a framework called the business time strategy. It's a strategy that uses the concept of time traveling, the ability to see beyond the concept of time and space, like you're leveraging knowledge from the future to build your today. So you are kind of orchestrating events in today to lead you into the future timeline that you've already predefined from the past, which is today. You understand? So let me not speak plenty grammar. So just in simple grammar, what I'm trying to say in essence is AI is the foundation of that transition. So as AI transcends from the general way of doing business, it transcends to the AGI, artificial general intelligence, to the ASI, artificial sentient intelligence. PaliPay is also going to evolve in that same space, where it will get to the AI sentient intelligence, where before regulators push out updates or market regulations, PaliPay's AI network would have already anticipated, predicted, using the time loop, like I said, the time dimensional strategy to kind of anticipate the future, reroute it to the present, and use other parameters and data around what is a potential trend for a shift in policy, and then upgrade to meet that policy even before it happens. That's the future of where PaliPay is going with AI.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin. One last question that I asked for you. You were the former Chief Operations Officer at CHSG, and now you are back with CHSG to build PaliPay personal web app. How has that journey been for you?
Well, it's been going great. So, like when I first worked with CHSG, the idea was to look at to find better ways to get things done at a faster speed. You understand? To get things done quicker, faster, better. And in this scenario now, so how that has been playing off is being the fact that you are working among people you have good familiarity with. It's a lot easier to build, grow, and scale. And you can easily make calls at any given period in time, and you are sure that you have people that will, talk to you and, hold you by your hands and show you the way forward. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Austin. Thank you, everyone that has been joining or that has joined from the beginning of this webinar onto this moment. Thank you for staying through. Thank you for staying. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, wherever you're joining us from at this moment, thank you so much. Really appreciate your presence here, just as we appreciate CHSG for hosting this powerful webinar and finding us such a very deep speaker to take us on today's team. Mr. Austin, thank you so much. We are so glad to have you here. And we'll be going on to the next agenda right now, which is I'll be introducing the next person. And it is Esther. Esther will be coming on now to talk to us and give us some final closing remarks. Esther, please.
Okay, hi, Blessing. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Austin, for the insightful presentation. We really learned a lot. Thank you, Miss Blessing, for being a wonderful host. We
Thank you very
enjoyed the
much.
entire session, all in all. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today for this session. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your engagement. And we hope that you found the webinar very valuable and insightful. Right. So before we close off, I would like to remind you about next week's webinar happening on Saturday, 24th, where we're going to be talking about faith and Figma. Right. She's a very seasoned and detailed speaker, more detailed than most of us speak, right? And it's going to be an exciting and an informative session, and we would love to have you there. So please keep an eye on your inbox for the registration link and for more updates that will be coming up. We hope that you register at CHSG Academy/register/register. We'll be looking forward to meeting every one of you in next week's webinar. So on behalf of my entire team, the CHSG team, Ms. Blessing, Mr. Austin, we say a very big thank you to everybody for being here today. We hope that you
Yeah.
stay safe, stay curious, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
before we go, I will just quickly say something about Mr. Austin. Uh, Mr. Austin is going to be Mr. Austin has a new book. Yes, he has a new book, and we'll be giving out 5 free books to our participants. And we'll be picking this by the first 5 people that will comment on this YouTube video when it is uploaded. This book is valued at $22 when you check it out on Amazon. So you know that Mr. Austin is giving us something, not just something that you just walk into a store and you get. It's something that is full of value. Having listened to what Mr. Austin has for us today, I'm very sure that that book is going to be very packed with insightful knowledge for all of us. So 5 people will be lucky to be winners of this book. And when you drop the comments, our group or our team will be reaching out to the winner. Thank you very much, everyone, for having me and for having us. And thank you, CHSG. Thank you, Mr. Austin. Thank you to all the participants.
Sorry, Blessing. I wanted to
Yes, sir.
say maybe 1 or 2 persons might have a question to ask. I think we should ask if there's anybody that has a question before we close up.
Okay.
So does anybody have any question you would like to ask from all the things we've discussed before we close up? If you have a question, just unmute and just share your question so that we can quickly wrap up.
Maybe somebody would like to ask.
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you so much, everybody. I'm really grateful. I'm very, very grateful. Blessing, Adekule, thank you. Austin and I, thank you. And everybody on the call also. I see so many people that I'm shocked. I see Dr. Popola, I see so many people, Mr. Tapo, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody on YouTube, on Facebook. I'll watch this later. I'm very, very grateful. From all of us at CHSG Global now. We're in New York, we're in California, we're in Lagos. We're trying to just change the narrative about Africa, and that's why we're bringing out this webinar. We've listened enough to them from MIT. You can attest to the brains that we brought for you today, and the brains we're bringing next week. My goodness,
Yeah.
Miss Affion, Jesus. Hey, you can go and watch our YouTube video from last year when she came on the webinar. She's doing something amazing at Tech Pie. So we're trying to change that narrative that, and you white people, come and listen to Africans too. And I'm sure this video will go far. Mr. Austin should be in the US very soon also for postgraduate studies. So that's the narrative we're trying to change. So please spread the word. Don't keep the good news to yourself. All the webinars are on our YouTube channels, and I think it will be on our chsgtech.com/TV before the end of the day. So you can just go watch the webinars from the past. Mr. Austin spoke last week also. Last year also on the fintech. His area has always been fintech, and he has an MBA from the University of Lagos and also a Bachelor's of Systems Engineering. He's a wealth of resource. You can reach out to him. Mr. Austin, I don't know if you want to drop your LinkedIn page again and maybe your social media handle. He's not really active on social media except LinkedIn, but hey, you can see those professors. They're not that active. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. The YouTube channel is CHSG Inc. Just type CHSGINT. I see Heritage you're asking. But all the videos will be on chsgtech.com/TV before the end of the day. Mr. Great, I'm putting you on the spot. Please let that link be live. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Thank you, everybody. Hope. Mr. Deron Care, our finance. Thank you, everybody. Timmy is even here. Thank you, everybody. All right, Ms. Blessing, you can close us out.
Thank you very much.